Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Red Lasered Water Guy. I'm here to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. And that's what we're all about here is self-healing. We have self-care tools for self-healing, and we're going to talk about water again today. You know, the theme for today is your water making you sick? And in most cases, it's not helping you get any healthier, we'll put it that way, because it's vibrating so low. It's, water in nature has a whole different vibration and frequency than the water that we have in our closed systems that has all the chemicals added to it and everything. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight is how you can clean up your water and raise the vibration of your water, raise the life force energy in your water to where your body is now functioning with structured and microclustered water like the body is supposed to. So that's what we're going to be talking about here. It's all about the self-care tools to take care of yourself. Nobody else can vibrate for you. So you got to raise your own vibration. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to share our screen. All right. So again, we're here to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. And the company I'm working with is called Pure Vibrance. We just rebranded it last month when we introduced the water products. And our goal is to help you build a bio ecosphere in your home, like a bio sanctuary, where you've got clean air, you've got best water, you've got high frequencies, you've got EMF protection, all of it that's based in nature and using the frequencies of nature to bring that around. Because everything man-made has a certain amount of incoherent frequencies in them, or frequencies that the body doesn't understand or that are harmful to the body. And so that's what we're talking about now. So let's talk about the magnificence of water, okay? That was easy to write that, but harder for me to say it. Anyhow, water is the only thing on Earth that can exist in three forms: liquid, solid, and vapor. So we're used to liquid water. When it freezes, it turns solid. It actually gets heavier and expands, or it can be raised temperature and turns into a vapor and evaporates completely. But it's still water, but it's vibrating at three different frequencies. And water always seeks the lowest point. You know, when you put water on the earth anywhere, it's going to go to the lowest point in that area. It always does. And yet it can defy gravity and also go to the top of the tallest trees to keep the trees alive and everything. So water is pretty fascinating in itself. Water has memory of everywhere it's been exposed to on its path. And that can be in your favor or it can harm you. Right now it's harming you. It's harming all of us that don't clean up our own water and reprogram the water to a higher vibration. Because when water comes out of the tap, you know, how long has it been sitting in pipelines and how corroded are the pipelines? You know, how long has it been since it's seen sunshine or oxygen? So it's up to us to clean that up. So water is life, and yet we know, water is life as we know it, okay? And in nature, it's not the same as it is in the controlled water systems. So that's what we're going to talk about now, because your health is determined by the invisible frequency you're vibrating. I love this slide, and I keep bringing it back in because everything is energy vibrating at a certain frequency, or it's a frequency vibrating energy, or it's energy, vibrating a frequency. Those three are all interconnected there, and they are the secrets to the universe. And when we really start to understand those, then we become in control of our whole life and our whole future, our health, our wellness, the wellness of our family, okay? Because everything is energy. The water I just talked about, When it's a vapor, it's a different frequency and different energy than it is when it's liquid. And the liquid determines how much sunshine it had, whether it's in a Rocky Mountain stream or whether it's in a half-inch copper pipe. All that determines the frequency and the energy in the frequency, the vibration, whether it's helpful or harmful to our body. So everything is energy. And, it's vibrating information. It creates it. So it's all EMF, electromagnetic field. Electromagnetic fields are either helpful for our body or harmful. If they're from nature, they're helpful. The body understands it because our body's from nature. Okay. If it's man-made, it's usually got harmful frequencies in it, sometimes more than it has helpful frequencies that are harming our body. So there's no exceptions to that. Everything's energy vibrating at a frequency, and it's either helping us heal our body or hurting our body, one of the two. So let's talk about the magnificence of the earth, our earth here. Our earth is a living organism. It's breathing and living just like we are, okay? The earth is alive with a heartbeat, and it's breathing, and it's nurtured by the sun and the moon, just like we are. All right. The ocean is the heart of our planet. The ocean is, think about it, everywhere around the ocean, there's waves coming in continually, just like our heartbeats continually. There's waves coming in. So the ocean is the heart. The rivers and the arteries, the creeks, the veins, they're all the arteries and the veins of the planet. Okay. They're bringing the water back, to the ocean. So the breathing is the continual evaporation and condensing into rainfall that keeps the earth and all that's on it alive. So it's a continuous cycle. It's always the oceans are evaporating, the lakes are evaporating, going up, recondensing, coming back down clean, with erased memory and everything. And then they start the dance all over again, going back into the oceans and back and forth. So the earth is alive, and we got to take better care of it so it can take better care of us. The minerals that were here, 150 years ago in the soil and stuff, not here. So we have to supplement for it, and finding a supplement that's a natural supplement that vibrates, from nature. Same thing with food, the food that the closer to nature you eat the food, the more life it has in it, the more the body can gain wellness from it. The farther away from nature, the less it is, to the point that it's actually robbing the body of energy just to get it out of your body. Okay. So we want to be conscious of that. So I got a video here I want to show you that explains, this gentleman knows, he's been studying water for years and has some pretty good information. So let's take a look here. And I'll be back. Okay, let's talk about the magnificence of water now. Okay, what he was talking about there is, the water out of our tap, number one, is low energy. There's very little energy. It has more protons than it has electrons because it hasn't been exposed to the sun. It's trapped in a slow moving or standstill environment for hours and at a time, and so it's very, very weak, and it's with all the protons and stuff. It has clusters of water that are like 12 to 16 molecules. And what we do is, and what nature does, nature, when it's coming down a Rocky Mountain stream, breaks those molecules up into clusters of 2 or 3 molecules. And that's structuring the water and microclustering it, oxygenating it, and energizing it with electrons when it's exposed to the sun. And so that's electron-rich, high-energy, structured, microclustered water, and that's what we're supposed to be drinking. But coming out of your tap, it's low energy, very few electrons, if any, which means it's inflammatory when we drink it. It doesn't digest through osmosis as it's supposed to. It has to be going through the digestive system to try and convert it. It takes a lot of energy. And so there's a lot of problems with tap water right now. And bottled water, a lot of times, isn't much better, except it's been, a lot of it's reverse osmosis. So it does have the contaminants taken out, but it's also got the good minerals taken out of it. So, you want to add minerals back into your water. Sea salt, unprocessed sea salt is one of the things you want to put back in your water, because unprocessed sea salt has the trace minerals and stuff that washed off the soil into the ocean, number one, and it's got the trace minerals we need for our cells to communicate cell to cell. It also creates the osmotic pressure that holds water in your blood. So all of that said, there's a lot of problems with bottled water and tap water, but the body adapts. The body doesn't have any choice. So it's going to help. The body has this amazing ability to make us think we're healthy right up until it can't do it anymore. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's why there's so much osteoporosis in our society. I mean, your bones are 27% salt, and 31% water. All right. So if you're dehydrated and you don't have enough salt, the bones get weaker, and it's having to rob calcium stuff out of the bones because of the inflammation and the acidity of some of the foods that people are eating. And so there's a major problem here. And one of the things the body always needs to help heal itself is structured, microclustered, high energy, electron rich water. Okay. And so that's what we're working on here. Because as he was saying, water in a closed system is not natural. It's in the dark, long pipes exposed to high pressures from pumps. It may be pumped, like here in Vegas, it's pumped like 40 miles to get into town. And then it goes through all the processes. So it's macro clustered instead of micro clustered. It's got very low energy. It's not aerated. It's proton rich instead of electron rich. And our bodies really have to work, to hydrate our bodies with that type of water. So, and here's, what it looks like, the frequencies, because again, everything comes down to frequencies. And so in our environment, we have all the stuff they're blowing in the air. We're breathing that, okay, which creates its own set of problems. But it's also going into the water. Whenever they put all this stuff in the air, the aluminum content in the reservoirs and stuff go up considerably. The water we drink here, they got the pools where they add all the chemicals and, stuff like that. They got the stuff called food here. That's very low energy. It takes water to wash it out of our body. It's not giving our body any energy. It's actually taking more energy to process it to get it out of our body, especially, the white flour and all the stuff here that is, some of it's only 1 molecule away from plastic. And, the pesticides, there's water there, but when they put the pesticides on the fields, on the crops, and it rains, it goes down and, it's already into the aquifers. The city waters and even well waters now are testing with pesticides in them, drugs, all sorts of problems there. And then the EMF is harming our body also, making it harder for our body to function, to process the water and make it structured and microclustered so it works in our body. The chemicals, there's there's like over 50 million chemicals in 2009 that weren't here at the turn of the century. And now it's hard to tell. It's probably over 100 million different chemicals that are here in our environment now. And then like 12,500 are for cosmetics, and 1,328 of those were banned in Europe, and the FDA banned 11. So that tells you what, some of the cosmetics are harmful to our body. I mean, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. If you put it on your skin, it's in your blood in 26 seconds. So everything I've used for over 30 years has been toxic free and edible that I put on my skin, probably closer to 40 years now. But all of these have frequencies that are harmful to the body. They're harmful to water. They're programming the water. See, if they use water to create any of this so-called food, then the water has that memory of that vibration of the food. And so, it's got to be aerated, microclustered, structured, and electron rich to help start reprogramming and erase that memory. So let's take another look here at another video with some more information on it about water. Okay, so what we have here again is, we're talking about what does water do for you, but the crystalline structure is a whole new approach, and the quantum physics, moving out of Newtonian physics into quantum physics, is what Einstein referred to as spooky action at a distance. Okay, everything's included in the quantum. We're not separate, we're all together. And so water has memory, and water actually reports back or communicates back to its source also. There's some fascinating things about water when you really start studying it. But we'll stick with what we got going here now. Is water is either microclustered in structure, as our body water is, or it's not. And so what we're wanting to do is help you with the devices that can help you structure and microcluster and aerate your water right there, and make it electron-rich water with the infrared and red frequencies in it from the sun, to where you can have healthy water for yourself and your family and everybody around. So what does water do for you? Okay, why is it so important? Well, number one, it forms the saliva that helps with our digestion. Saliva is very healing, and most people don't chew enough to really get enough saliva in their food for it to digest well and help the body heal itself. Water is what keeps the mucoid membranes moist. Okay, water allows your cells to grow and reproduce and survive in your body. And all the cells have water in that they're suspended in, and it's to be healthy, it's got to be the microclustered and structured water. But the body's going to adapt. It doesn't have any choice. Our body has this amazing way of making us think we're healthy right up until it can't rob Peter anymore to pay Paul. And, all of a sudden, we break. And it's just that simple. It's like the people that have, I just twisted one time and my back went out. Well, that's been coming for months and months and maybe years. Okay, because of the dehydration, whatever else, you're doing, because it's all about your habits and what you're doing every day. And so it didn't happen at once. It's been coming all along. And so that's what happens to the body, is it can't keep you thinking you're healthy anymore. And all of a sudden, bingo, it pops. So water is responsible for flushing the waste out of our body through urine and through breathing out through our lungs. We exhale a couple of quarts of water a day. It's just pretty amazing when you start looking at the facts. And it lubricates our joints. If you have lower back pain, that's probably because you're dehydrated. And you can, water is what keeps the disc in your spine inflated, is water. Coke doesn't keep them. Nothing else but water. Water is the only thing that helps your body lubricate the joints, whether it's your knee or whether it's your spine, whatever it is. Water is the major component for most parts of your body. Your eyes are 98% water. So the least bit of dehydration can start causing, your vision to go out or to be twisted or, not as good. So dehydration is a real problem there. Our brain is like 70% water, 71% water, something like that. Our blood's 94% water. So if you're a little bit dehydrated, your blood is not now carrying the nutrients and stuff to your cells and the water. So water is critical, and having the structured water is even more critical than I ever realized as I started looking into this. So the brain needs water to manufacture hormones and neurotransmitters. It regulates body temperature, water does, by sweating and respiration. Acts as a shock absorber for the brain and the spinal cord, because it's they're in this cerebral fluid that protects them. Converts food to components needed for survival and digestion. Takes water to take all those nutrients out to the cells along with the oxygen. The water is what delivers oxygen all over our body. So water is critical for your health. And like I say, there is no substitute for water except the water in vegetables, green leafy vegetables. Some of those like celery, romaine lettuce, and some of those are rich in water that's already microclustered and structured to some extent, okay, based on how it was grown. So the water in you, what does it do for your body? Some of this is a little repetitive, but it's worth repeating. Water serves several essential functions to keep us all going. Vital nutrient, it's actually a vital nutrient to the life of every cell by itself. Just the water itself is a nutrient for the cells. Acts first as a building material to help build the cells and to replicate the cells. It regulates our internal body temperature, again, by sweating and respiration. The carbohydrates and the proteins that our body uses as food to metabolize and transported by water into the bloodstream. It assists in flushing waste mainly through urination. Acts as a shock absorber. It forms our saliva, lubricates joints, and then hydrates your spinal disc. So again, if you've got lower back problems, it probably started from dehydration. I'd say over 90% of people's initial discomfort and dis-ease can be related back to dehydration, because they say 75% of the country, I think, is critically dehydrated. So let's take another look here. All right. So the quality of your water is the quality of your health, and the quality of your health is the quality of your life. No exceptions. You know, when we've got our health, life's a lot of fun. And so what we want to do is have the ability to always have quality water around us. Okay. And uh, you know, he uses a waterfall. I use, you know, water in nature coming down a Rocky Mountain stream and exposed to the sun is aerated. It's high energy. It's electron rich. It's structured and microclustered, and it hydrates our body effortlessly through osmosis. It's actually tastes so much different. You can take whatever water you're drinking and pour it through one of our devices, what we call a flow through, and then you'll taste the difference. Then you can actually laser it with our red laser, which is like sunshine, and puts the red and infrared and frequencies in it, along with more electrons. And then you can taste the difference again. It's that much, there's that much difference. And it's effortlessly starting to hydrate the body. So this is our hydro combo unit. And so it's designed as a bottle topper or a pour through. You just have a piece here at the top where you rip it out, and then the bottle flips open. You can put it on it'll fit a lot of the glass bottles and plastic bottles, and you can just pour, you can drink right through it, and it microclusters it, structures it, adds life force energy, a lot of human blueprint frequencies of higher vibration of optimal wellness for our body. And so your body then starts to be able to hydrate itself more completely. You can also just take the flip top off of it and use it with the funnel as a pour through into, like I use a stainless steel bottle. And so I pour mine through the pour through with a funnel, and that works, you know, perfectly for me. And so, you know, we're duplicating a Rocky Mountain stream here every time you want to get a drink of water, or you can, you know, last for days after you've poured it through. So, you know, you can do a gallon at a time like I do, and then just keep drinking it. Then I also laser it with the gold disc on the end of the laser, and that adds more life force energy, about 30% more life force energy. It adds more, about 5,500 more human blueprint frequencies or optimal wellness frequencies to our body, so our body can then train up to a higher frequency. And that's, you know, one of the ways that the body can now start healing itself naturally. And so I use both. I do the red laser, the gold disc on the red laser, and then I use the pour through. So I use all three of them, and I'll show you the difference in life force energy that creates here in just a little bit. So, and if you want to check it out, you can go to purevibrance.com/Joe Blanton, and you can see more of it there. But here's what it looks like here. That, you know, we do tons of research, and we work with everything. We prove it through the GBD camera testing. We do microscopies testing with live blood. And then this is the Bovis Energy chart. In Europe, they measure the water, the life force energy, what we call it. They call it Bovis Energy, and they have a measurement for it. So we had everything tested that way. And your standard tap water, the pH baseline was 4.3 pH, which is quite acidic. The reverse osmosis water was 6.6 because it had a lot of the toxins and everything, you know, pulled out of it. Kangen water was 9.1 pH, and then the reverse osmosis water through a vitalizer vortexer was 6.6. So it didn't change there. And then so we ran it through the hydro unit one time and then checked the pH. pH stayed the same on tap water, went down one notch on reverse osmosis, went up two notches on, went up to 11.1 with the Kangen water, and then came down 1 point, a tenth of a point, to 6.5 with the reverse osmosis vitalized vortex water. Okay. And so it didn't change the pH much except on the Kangen. And then the life force energy baseline for tap water is 3,400. Okay. Well, the healthy human body is around 16,000 Bovis energy units. So if you're using tap water at 3,400, you're actually, not adding any life force energy into your body. You're actually, it needs to be around 16,000 to be healthy, and you're adding water that's 3,400. And so the reverse osmosis water went up to 6,300. Kangen was 8,400. And the reverse osmosis vitalized vortex water was 10,300, still short of 16,000. Okay. And so that was the baseline. So we ran it through the hydro unit here one time, and just as a pour through, took the top off and used a funnel and poured through it. And the tap water went up to 9,300 Bovis Energy units from 3,400. The reverse osmosis water went from 6,300 up to 10,600, just with one time pouring it through. The Kangen water went from 8,400 to 16,000 with one pour through. And then the reverse osmosis vitalized vortex water went from 10,300 to 16,300. So 16,000 is where we need to be as a minimum, just to break even with the energy in our body. So what we did is then we took the natural red laser that's red and infrared, and we lasered the water. We went through the vortex hydro one time and then lasered it with the red laser. And the tap water went from 9,300 to 18,600. It actually doubled the Bovis energy with the red laser. It's one of my favorite tools. Okay. The reverse osmosis water went from 10,600 to 40,000 Bovis units of energy. The Kangen water went from 16,000 to 36,000. And then the reverse osmosis vitalized vortex water went from 16,300 to 57,500. So now we're giving energy back into the body. This is where you want to be right here as a minimum. Okay. I'm always using reverse osmosis of the vortex water is what I use all the time. And so the next thing we did was we added the gold disc that I talked about. So now we ran it through the hydro one time. We lasered it with the red laser and the gold disc. So it's red and infrared laser with the gold disc. The gold disc is a biophotonic amplifier. And so the tap water went from 18,600 Bovis energy units to 25,000 Bovis energy units of energy. The reverse osmosis went from 40,000 to 55,000. The Kangen went from 36,000 to 65,000. And the reverse osmosis vortex water went from 57,000 to 114,000. So now you can see why I use the vortex, I use the hydro, and I use the red laser with my gold disc all the time. So I'm drinking the vortex water at 114,000 Bovis energy. So that's really supporting my body, having more life force energy, more electron-rich structured and microclustered water, and more aerated. So it's, my body's able to heal itself a lot faster. So the next thing we did was we ran it through the hydro twice, which I do quite frequently. I run it through the hydro 2 times and then laser it with the red laser, red infrared laser, and the gold disc. And then tap water went from 25,000 to 52,000. The reverse osmosis went from 55,000 to 110,000. And then the Kangen went from 65,000 to 130,000, but the reverse osmosis went from 114,000 to 228,000. So that's how we can help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally, is by added Bovis, or what we call life force energy. Now, as a comparison, the water you start with is always going to give you the better result on the end. So the cleaner, higher quality water you start with is going to give you even better quality at the end. And this is a comparison of the difference of the water in Holland than it is in the United States. We took the water in Holland and ran it through one time in the combo optimizer, and it had 104,500 Bovis energy units. Ran it through a second time, it went to 215,000 Bovis energy units. So the water over there was a lot cleaner and a lot already energized, more so than what we have here in our municipal systems and everything. So that's how we can, really help turn life around, because the key to health and wellness is hydration with lots of energy. The more energy you have in your body, the healthier you're going to be, the more energy in the cells. So let's talk about the magnificence of sunshine. Okay. Sunshine energizes water and stimulates our mitochondria. That's the engine that powers our body. So you can, eat all the fancy foods and healthy foods you want to, but if your mitochondria are dysfunctional, then you've got a problem. Okay. So the pure vibrance red and infrared laser replicates sunshine. When you use a laser, it's like getting out in the sun. It's energizing the water in our blood and that we drink, and it stimulates our mitochondria. And we got lots of information on that. But the red laser with the gold disc around the end of it is really taking everything to a whole new level. What we had originally was 330,000 Bovis Energy units, and we put the gold disc on. It went to over 1 million Bovis Energy in the red infrared laser with the gold disc. And we had 1,645 human blueprint frequencies, and it took it to 5,573 human blueprint frequencies now being infused into your body. And human blueprint frequencies are what we call them. They're actually optimal wellness frequencies for bones, ligaments, muscles, tendons, joints, eyes, etc. And the body will always then train up to the higher frequency. So when you infuse this into your water, into your body, the body will always upregulate the gene expression to build a healthier protein. Proteins are the expression of life, because proteins are responsible for structure and function of your body. So let's talk about the magnificence of a Rocky Mountain stream. A Rocky Mountain stream aerates structures and microclusters water. Okay, and the Pure Vibrance Hydrocondo shower, garden unit, or faucet unit replicates nature's Rocky Mountain stream by aerating, structuring, and microclustering your water right there on the spot. And it's portable. You can take it with you, use it as a bottle topper. You can, around the home here, I use a real funnel, to pour through. But when I'm traveling, I use the flexible one that comes with it here. It doesn't take up near as much room. We have it for the garden, can be used for the shower or for the garden. And you can tell the difference when you take a shower with it. The water's different. It's for plants and animals. It's beneficial for plants, beneficial for animals. Increasing in yield in the crops in Holland was 45%. The density went up 5%, less fertilizer and pesticides, increased plant immunity against the diseases of the plants and stuff. Reduces the health maintenance by 30% for animals. And it reduced the mortality by 30 to 50% for animals. And so it's just naturally going to help everything, help the body, whether it's human or animal, heal itself more naturally. And stimulating the mitochondria is the key. Okay, the mitochondria float in water. They got water around them. They produce their own electron-rich water, but you have to be hydrated to do that. And when you're not hydrated, your blood looks like this. It's all rouleed, sticking together. We just shined a red laser on somebody's chest, this person's chest, for 2 minutes. Their blood was all free-flowing. If you're drinking structured microclustered water, you've got a much better chance of having free-flowing blood even without the laser. But why not use the laser too, okay? Because, rouleed blood is a compromised immune system. It's starving the cells of nutrition. And then healthy blood is free-flowing and gets plenty of nutrition and water and everything and oxygen to the cells. So that's the key. As Bruce Lipton says, the fate of our cells is determined by the chemistry of our blood. Our blood's 94% water. And so we need structured, microclustered, energized, electron-rich water for our blood. No exceptions, all right? So the mitochondria is the key to longevity. Doug Wallace has been studying the mitochondria for 40 years, and he says that aging is simply malfunctioning mitochondria and causing about 80% of today's dis-ease and bioenergetic deficit. Okay, there's Each cell has hundreds of thousands of mitochondria that produce the ATP, the energy. Again, they're the life force energy for our blood, for our whole body, actually. And the more energy you have in your cells, the healthier you are and the longer you're going to live. It's really that simple. And breathing brings oxygen into the blood and then into each cell and into the mitochondria. So you want free-flowing blood. And the sun is one of the the sun is one of the keys to that. And so if you're not out in the sun a lot, you can use the infrared laser to infuse electrons into your water, and that's going to hold the charge and energize it just like we showed in the testing. The water, every mitochondria is surrounded by EZ water, which is electron-rich water, and we support that, And so we want as many free electrons as possible in our body every day. And every time you use the red laser, every photon in the laser beam gives up an electron to the body, which increases your redox potential and reduces free radicals, which helps lowering inflammation. Your body's over 70% water, just like the earth is about 70% water. Your blood's 94%, your eyes are 98%. And so the mitochondria is the key to longevity, because that's the engine that drives your whole body. And so, again, we want to, let's see. We want to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally is what we're here for. And remember, nobody else can vibrate for you, but we can help you. Help yourself, help your body, help itself, heal itself naturally with simple tools that anybody can afford. You carry them with you, keeps you and your family healthy. You can help your friends. It's just amazing the difference it makes. I've been working with this energy for a little over 14 years. I've seen miraculous stuff happen, and we've only just begun. So if you have any questions, give me a call. Joe Blanton here, 469-766-5511. You can check out my YouTube channel, just youtube.com/by Joe Blanton, BYJOEBLANTON. So take care, have fun, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.